Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'll be showing you how to make a moussaka or moussaka or however you want to say it. It's basically a Greek lasagna. Now, I avoid a fair few traditional methods when I make this as I'm trying to keep it a bit healthier. I avoid frying the vegetables and I stick with just baking them. Less oil, less fat means my waistline is grateful alongside my fiance. It's also a lot less hassle. You don't have to worry about the oil heating up, burning yourself, making a mess, cooling the oil down. This way you just put it in the oven and it's good to go. Now I start by preheating my oven around 180, 200 degrees Celsius or 350, 375 Fahrenheit. Whilst that heats up, slice your vegetables. Potatoes, aubergines and courgettes are the go-to, and I aim for around 1 centimeter thickness or whatever your knife skills allow you to do. Lay a non-stick baking sheet tray, line up your vegetables, drizzle some extra olive oil on top, and then season the vegetables, salt, pepper, oregano. Be generous. Then you're going to roast these for around 30 to 40 minutes until they're nice and soft and they've broken down. Once that's in the oven, I turn to making the meat topping. Finely chop the onions and garlic, then sweat them down in a frying pan on a medium to high heat. Don't burn it because you'll get bitter chunks of garlic running through your beef and that's not good for anyone. Then hit it with some tomato puree and throw in the meat. Cook it down until it looks like mine and then season with salt, pepper and paprika to taste. I also added some red wine because I had some knocking around, but that's optional of course. If you do choose to do it, roughly around 100 milliliters. Don't cook it too long either. You don't want it to dry out. Remember, we're going to throw this back in the oven, so you want it nice and moist. The meat is cooked, so we can start assembling the moussaka. I start with the potatoes and then the aubergine, followed with the courgette. You can use different vegetables if you want. If you have something in your fridge that you're trying to get rid of, use that. It's really not that serious. Once you've layered the veg, cover it with the meat and pat it down slightly. Also, I'll be making a vegan option too, so I removed the meat from one of the trays and I replaced it with fresh tomatoes instead. Now that's done, we're going to move on to the somewhat technical bit, the bechamel cream or sauce. We're going to start with the milk and we're going to put that on a medium heat. We're going to add parsley stalks, black peppercorns and a bay leaf. If you don't have any of that stuff, it's fine, you can make it without it. It's just the extra annoying chefy thing to do to add a bit of flavour, but honestly it works just as good without infusing the milk. Just make sure your sauce is well seasoned at the end of it. Once the milk is infused, make sure to pour half of it on your stove and the other half in a jug. Then mix in 1 egg. It's important to whisk the egg in well and to make sure that your milk hasn't boiled, because then you're just going to have scrambled eggs in your milk, and again that's no good for anyone. Now we're doing this the Greek way before any French people pipe up and start slating the way that we're making a bechamel. Now whilst we're on the topic of the French, we're going to start building the roux or the roux. This is just a French word for fat and flour being mixed together to thicken sauces. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to slowly add flour to melted butter until we get a nice thick consistency that's sticking together in one big gloopy mess. Once the flour's been cooked out, we're going to slowly add milk to the roux until we get a silky, smooth, creamy bechamel sauce. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, this is a tedious process. It's annoying and messy and you really can't stop mixing because then you'll just ruin your sauce and get lumps, which we never want. But just keep at it, be patient, you'll get there. You'll also be that super cool person who knows how to make a bechamel sauce, so it's definitely worth it. Once you're happy with the consistency of your sauce, you're then going to season it, nutmeg, salt and pepper, and after that you will have the most amazing bechamel sauce. Once you've got that, pour it over the meat and place it in the oven for around 30 to 45 minutes. For me it's different every single time, so just keep checking it and pull it out once it's gone a nice golden brown. Now the measurements for the bechamel were on the screen earlier, but it will vary on how many people you're feeding and you'll need to adjust and eyeball this a little bit. It may be different for you, so don't just load up with the exact measurements that I've given you. Make sure you focus on getting the right consistency with the ingredients I've listed instead. If you have extra bits of flour or whatever left over, treat them like spare screws in an IKEA building set and store them away in a drawer forever. Now that's done, I'll show you how to make the vegan version of the bechamel. Again, you're going to pretty much follow the same process. We're going to build the roux, but instead of using butter, we're going to swap that out for extra virgin olive oil. Add flour slowly until you get the right consistency and then cook out the flour. Once that's done, we're going to use soy milk. I tried using almond milk and vegan butter, but it just never worked. The sauce kept splitting when I was baking it. But soy and olive oil is a combination that works 100%. Mix in the soy milk until you get a lovely silky bechamel, and then simply pour it on top and throw it in the oven. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe and share if you enjoyed the video.